What's up, everybody? It's Travis Hopson of punchdrunkcritics.com and, of course, the Cinema Royale podcast. And we are about 24 hours away from the Oscars, the biggest night of the year for cinephiles like myself. And I'm assuming all of you, if you're listening or watching this right now. And, this is going to be another unpredictable Oscar season. I really don't know how this is going to go tomorrow night. I really don't. I think anybody that tells you that they do is lying, because there are going to be some real surprises here. I mean, we've got some movies that have been hanging around all year long. Movies like Coda that have been here literally since January of last year that are really serious contenders here. And of course, we got the movies that came later that look like real powerhouses, like Power of the Dog and West Side Story and so forth. So this is going to be pretty unpredictable. You got some best foreign language film contenders in there that have kind of disrupted things, like Drive My Car and Flee. And I don't know, man. I think anybody who tells you that they know exactly what's going to happen is lying to you. That's the way I look at it anyway, right? So like I said, tomorrow's the big day. And look, if you're in the DC area and you're looking for a fun way to watch the Oscars, you should come on out to the Arlington Cinema and Draft House tomorrow night about 6 o'clock, 6:30, I think is when doors open. I will be hosting along with my friend Tim Gordon, president of Washington D.C. Area Film Critics Association and Black Reel Awards. We'll be hosting the Oscar night party there on behalf of the DC Film Society. We do it every year, but we've been gone a couple of years because of why. So yeah, but we're back and we're going to be doing this thing, and it's usually really fun. Yeah, we have a bunch of trivia and giveaways, and we have a silent auction with some cool stuff. And yeah, you should definitely come out and hang out with some other movie geeks and watch the Oscars. Watch our Super Bowl, as I like to call it. This is our Super Bowl, right? So just go and check that out. Now, I'm going to be giving my predictions for tomorrow. Now, look, I don't pretend to be like an awards expert. I don't remember everything that happened every year. I don't even remember who won the Golden Globes a couple weeks ago. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't profess to be an expert. I am just somebody who has been, neck deep in movies for the vast majority of my life and have been, really covering them pretty deeply for the last 20 years. So I do know some things, and but does that qualify me as an expert? No. And does that mean my predictions will be right? No. In fact, more often than not, it means absolutely nothing. And I tend to be pretty crappy at these. So I'm going to give my picks for who's going to win, who's kind of a contender, maybe an outsider choice that could take it, and who should win. And if there's a case where I think there's a movie that probably should have been nominated, I'll mention that too. It's not the case for all of them. I'm only going to do the major categories, and I'll slim it down and get towards the end. And I won't do the shorts because they're the only category where I didn't see everything. I've seen every other movie, but the short category is always the one that gets by me every year. So let's get it started, man. So let's start off right at the top with Best Picture. And the nominees for Best Picture are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Now, who do I think is going to win? This may surprise you, but I think Coda is going to win. Now, look, for the vast majority of the year, I felt that the Power, or at least since it came out, The Power of the Dog is the movie that I thought would win. It seems like the most obvious choice, and if it wins tomorrow, I will not be shocked. But Coda, which is this movie that I tweeted a few days ago, and there's been no other movie this year that consistently people come up to me still and tell me how much they loved that movie and how much it meant to them. The movie's been out since like the summer. I mean, it's been a long time, and literally I saw it at its world premiere in January at Sundance. So it has been out all year for people. People have been talking about it and buzzing about it since January. People absolutely adore this film, and that means a lot. That means an awful lot. The Power of the Dog has 12 Oscar nominations, and that means something too. That means something too. The Academy really likes that film. But at the same time, I think Coda has momentum behind it. It seems to have really picked up over the last couple of weeks that people are talking more about Coda as the best movie of the year. And I think there's something to be said about having a really heartfelt, hopeful, uplifting film right at this point in time. I feel like we always say that about a certain movie every year, because things have been shit for for a while. But in the case of Coda, I think Coda's going to take it, and I'm going to stick with that. Who should win? Look, if you've seen my top 20 of the year, you know what I think should win. Licorice Pizza is the best movie of the year. Paul Thomas Anderson, come on, but it's not going to win. But that's what I think should win. What could win? Power of the Dog. I'll not be shocked. What should have been in here? Spider-Man: No Way Home should have been in here. They should have done the thing and put it in here. They could have bumped out, yeah, King Richard. Is anybody going to vote for King Richard for Best Picture? No. But they could have put Spider-Man: No Way Home in there and given some love to the fanboys. And I would have liked to have seen In the Heights get in here, but I feel like that movie, because it did so poorly or was so disappointing at the box office that it's just kind of been forgotten, which is sad. All right, Best Director. Let's go Best Director. Nominees: Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Ryosuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. The movie that I think is going to win, or director I think is going to win, is Jane Campion. She's going to be the second female director to win in a row. That's Chloe Zhao, who won last year for Nomadland. Who should win? Jane Campion. She deserves it. Power of the Dog is an incredible film. Don't let Samuel L. fool you. And who could win? I would not be shocked if Steven Spielberg wins for West Side Story. That movie seems to be picking up steam lately. And I would not be shocked if Kenneth Branagh win for Belfast for a lot of the same reasons that I gave about Coda a few minutes ago in the Best Picture category. It's a really uplifting film, heartfelt, personal story. And Kenneth Branagh has been doing the thing. He's been everywhere. I have personally seen him give the same speech like 4 times. So I know he has been out there. So would I be shocked if Belfast won? It's another movie that is beloved by a lot of people. So yeah, I think it could take it as well. But I do think Power of the Dog and Jane Campion are going to win. And good for her. Jane Campion's incredible. Who should have been here? Denis Villeneuve for Dune. I mean, come on, man. Come on, dude. How's he not in this? I mean, I like Ryosuke Hamaguchi's Drive My Car as well, but come on. And of course, I'd love to see Paul Thomas Anderson win, but he's not going to win. I don't know if he'll ever win that. Best Actor nominees are Will Smith for King Richard, Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos. Can't believe that movie's in here for anything. Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. Look, this one is probably a lock. It's probably going to be Will Smith for King Richard. I felt that way since I saw the film at Middleburg that he was probably going to win, and I saw the reaction from people at Middleburg for King Richard. The people there absolutely loved it. By contrast, they hated something like Red Rocket. They're like, what is this racy stuff? No, they like the movie like King Richard, which is another movie that has a positive story to tell. Look, I will also admit, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago on a Twitter space. I do believe in the fact that Oscar voters, Academy voters, will split their vote between minority actors. I do believe that. What I recall is 2001 when Will Smith probably should have won for Ali. He lost to some guy named Denzel Washington for Training Day. In 2007, he lost to Forrest Whitaker for The Last King of Scotland. I do believe that when these things happen, Will Smith tends to get the short end of the stick, losing to another black actor who gives a towering performance. And those were two towering performances he lost to. He's going up against another towering performance here. He's going against a couple of towering performances, but he's going against one by Denzel again in The Tragedy of Macbeth. I have issues with that movie, but Denzel is not one of them. He is a commanding performance, and it could be the kind of thing that siphons votes. If you believe the Academy is of the mind where they are picking sides between black actors like I do. So I think Will Smith will still win it. Do I think something could disrupt it? Something like that, where somebody's like, Will Smith, Denzel, and then somebody like Andrew Garfield sneaks in for Tick Tick Boom. I don't know, man. It's possible. And look, and Andrew Garfield is who I think should win. He is incredible in Tick Tick Boom. I would love to see him win that. Who could win? Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog. Everybody, well, not everybody, but most people really enjoy that film. Or I don't know, can you enjoy Power of the Dog? I guess so. But he's great in that movie. And who should have been in here? Nicolas Cage for Pig. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous that he's not in here. But it's always such a tight category. All right, Best Actress. The nominees are Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. Who was going to win? I think Jessica Chastain is going to take this for Tammy Faye. That movie is not one that people liked. In fact, this category in general has a few movies that people didn't really care for, but they liked the lead performances. Jessica Chastain as I think has sort of been, I don't know if I necessarily call her the front runner from day one, because I do think there was a while there where Kristen Stewart had a lot of the buzz, and I still think she's the one who should win in this category. I think she's great in a movie that sucks. But Jessica Chastain, I guess, is the right balance. She gives a really good performance to Tammy Faye in a movie that's pretty solid. I like that movie. Olivia Colman could sneak in there and win now. And I don't even know if it's necessarily sneaking in. She's Olivia Colman. She's close to becoming an institution, kind of like Frances McDormand did. All of a sudden, it's like anytime she's in a role, she's getting nominated. I'm starting to feel that way about Olivia Colman, and I got no problems with that. I was not a fan of The Lost Daughter. Not that I necessarily think it's bad, but it's not the movie that I think of as one of the best of the year, and yet it's got a lot of nominations and it's got a lot of people backing it. And Olivia Colman could easily win. She could come out of nowhere and win. So I won't be surprised if that happens. Who should have been in here? I would have loved to have seen Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza, but that's not going to happen. That was never going to happen. So, but I would have dug it. Penelope Cruz and Parallel Mothers is interesting too. There seems to be some buzz for her all of a sudden too. I could see her and maybe Olivia Colman maybe kind of splitting votes. I don't know. That one's interesting. But something about Penelope Cruz has me intrigued. Yeah. Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Troy Kotsur for Coda, Kieran Hines for Belfast, Jesse Plemons for Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos. The movie's got a lot of acting noms, and Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog. So you got a movie with two nominees in here, Power of the Dog, and they'll definitely, almost certainly, split votes, I think. The winner in this one is a lock anyway. I don't give a damn if they're split votes or not. And that's Troy Kotsur for Coda. He has been the lock from day one. He is there. He's going to win. He deserves to win, and he will win. And it'll be a great moment. It'll be incredible. And trust me, the Academy wants that moment. So that's going to happen. Who could win? I guess Cody Smith-McPhee would be the next choice. He'd be the next one. He's, I think, the best of the rest by far. He's great in The Power of the Dog. In fact, I think he has the best performance of everyone in that movie, and a movie full of terrific performances. He's one, and this is one of the reasons. Power of the Dog is one of those movies that makes me wish the Oscars had a best ensemble category. I really do, because Power of the Dog would probably clean it Who should have been in here? Coleman Domingo for Zola, a movie that has sadly been ignored by the Oscars. It got loved by the indie spirits, which is great, but the Academy should have given that movie more attention. It's fantastic and just wild. Best Supporting Actress nominees: Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Anjanou Ellis for King Richard. This is another one that's a lock, a stone cold lock, and that's Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. She's had it. I think since that movie came out and everybody was like, whoa. And I was like, whoa. She's the best thing about that movie by far. She will win. She should win. Anjanou Ellis has gotten a lot of support from Will Smith and from others. She's a great actress this is probably the moment that she's really going to get to shine in a career where she's been in, a lot of character roles and things like that. And this is her moment, I think. But she's not, I don't think she's going to win. Who should have been in here? I would love to have seen Ruth Negga get in here for Passing. She is so good in that movie. That movie is another one where the lead performances, her and Tessa Thompson, are out of this world. I wish that movie had gotten more love in general by the Oscars. Best Original Screenplay nominees: Belfast, Kenneth Branagh, Don't Look Up, Adam McKay and David Sirota, King Richard, Zach Balan, Licorice Pizza by P.T. Anderson, and Worst Person in the World, Escobar and Joaquin Trier. Excuse me if I mess up names. I know other people are sticklers about that, but I tend to mess up names. I'm sorry. Who will win? I think this is the one where Kenneth Branagh is definitely going to take it for Belfast. It's like I said, it's a really personal, deeply personal story that is an anti-war film in a sense, in a time when we're really dealing with that right now. Now that theme could benefit it in other categories too. So like I've said before, don't be surprised if Belfast takes something that you might not have expected it to. But I do think Belfast will take this one, and Branagh will get this one. This will be his Oscar, which is great. Who should win? Come on, Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza, of course, best movie and best script. Who could win? I think Worst Person in the World has an outside shot. A movie that, a best international feature that has made its it's found its spots elsewhere as well, and people really like it. I could see it sticking in there and possibly taking this one, but I don't think it'll happen. Best Adapted Screenplay nominees are Coda, Sean Hayter, probably said that name wrong. Drive My Car, Ryosuke Hamaguchi and Takamasa Oe. Dune, John Spates, Denis Villeneuve, Eric Roth. The Lost Daughter, Maggie Gyllenhaal, and Power of the Dog, Jane Campion. Who will win? Power of the Dog. I think that movie had 12 nominations, and I feel like it's got to stockpile some wins. And I think this will be one of those wins that it gets that makes its win total look impressive. I think it'll win. Although I do see Maggie Gyllenhaal possibly beating it out. She's in my could win category. She could take it. But I do think Power of the Dog will win it. Maggie Gyllenhaal's a very close second. And who should win? Power of the Dog. Best Animated Feature. Is a great category. The nominees: Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and The Last Dragon. Really great category this year. And a couple movies that probably should have been in there, like Belle or Josie the Fish, the Tiger and the Fish. It's a great movie that I don't think enough people saw. Who's going to win? Encanto is going to win. Encanto has been something like a phenomenon. Ooh, I didn't mean to make that reference. Encanto is going to win. It's been a phenomenon since it came out. Even if it doesn't have a gigantic box office, didn't really need it. I think that movie's going to take it. Although I do think Mitchell's versus the Machines was the best animated feature of the year. What a great family film, man. I kind of feel like Netflix dropped the ball a little bit on it. It could have used more buzz coming down this last stretch. So I'm a little bit disappointed by Best documentary, and we'll start to. At this point, I'll just kind of give the movies that I think will win. I'm not gonna go through everything with these. So just to kind of get to the end here and roll through these last few categories. Best documentary feature nominees are Summer of Soul, Ascension, Attica, Flee, and Writing with Fire. A movie I think will win is Summer of Soul. This is the film from Questlove about the Harlem Festival from the 1970s. I can't remember the year exactly. Came around the same time as Woodstock. Something I had absolutely no idea about at all. And I guarantee you 99% of Black people living in, they had no idea about it either. Just found footage thing that people were like, oh, what was this thing about? What was this event? And it has like all these great performers at it. It's a total uh, cultural blast, man. And no one knew that it happened, that it existed. It's crazy. But I saw this movie at Sundance too. Same night I thought I saw Coda, I believe. I think those were the same night, opening night. And it was just insane. Yeah, Summer Soul I think is gonna win. I feel bad for Flea because Flea is in like three categories, and I don't know if it's gonna win any of them. And I think that's a shame. Best speaking of which, best international feature. Uh, Nominees are Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Unana, A Yak in the Classroom, and The Worst Person in the World. I think Drive My Car will win. Why? Because it's extremely rare. I think it's actually never happened that international feature that gets nominated for Best Picture doesn't win international feature. So I think Drive My Car is going to take this one. Do I think it's the best of this group? Yeah, probably. Although I have a soft spot for The Hand of God. It's not Paolo Sorrentino's best, though. Fleet, again, is a movie that fits in both the animated category and the best international feature category and the best documentary category. And it's not going to win any of them, which just goes to show the insanity of this year that you could have that. And Worst Person in the World, like I said, people love that movie when they see it. People love that movie. It could easily take this, but I feel like because Drive My Car was also listed for Best Picture, it's going to win. Best Cinematography nominees: Greg Fraser, Dune; Dan Laustsen for Nightmare Alley; Ari Wegner for Power of the Dog; Bruno D'Abano for The Tragedy of Macbeth; and Janusz Kaminski for West Side Story. Janice Kaminski for West Side Story, excuse me. And then Ari Wegner has this for Power of the Dog. I think she's had it locked up for a while. And I think you could probably put Fraser as like the number two. Um, if he won, I would not be shocked either because he totally deserves it for Dune. But I feel like Wegner has this. Best costume design nominees are Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story. I think Cruella, this is the one where Cruella will take it. Jenny Bevan taking this one for Cruella. Best film editing nominees: Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, Power of the Dog, and Tick Tick Boom. I'd love to see Tick Tick Boom take this, but this will be one of those that, like I said, Power of the Dog to rack up some wins. I think Power of the Dog takes it. Makeup and hairstyling, one of my favorite categories because Suicide Squad won in this category. So I think this category is funny. I mean, look at the nominees. This is like what the Academy is always like, hey, let's throw this movie a bone. I mean, look, Coming to America is in here as a nominee. Coming to America is in here for nominees. So I mean, come on. Cruella is also in there. Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. House of Gucci's in there for this. Out of remember all that hype there was for House of Gucci, this is what it's here for. It's in here for makeup and hairstyling, and you know what? It's not going to win it. The Eyes of Tammy Faye is going to win it. Now, I think there's probably something a little bit insulting about the fact that the movie about the lady who was known for wearing way too much makeup is the one that is probably going to win for best makeup. But Jessica Chastain has also been very vocal about the people behind this movie, and especially in this field. So I think this one could take it. I would like to see Dune also be a factor in this. I guess they are a factor, but I feel like Tammy Faye is probably going to get it. Yeah, that seems right. It seems right. Original score. The nominees are Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. Hans Zimmer has this, I think, down for Dune. I don't think anybody else is coming close. Original song. The nominees are Be Alive, King Richard, Dos Oruguitas for Encanto, Down to Joy from Belfast, No Time to Die from No Time to Die, and Somehow You Do from Four Good Days. It's hard to believe to me that Four Good Days is in here, but that's a Diane Warren song, and Diane Warren always gets nominated. So, who's going to win? Dos Oruguitas for Encanto. That soundtrack has probably been buzzing around in everybody's ear for months now. And Lin-Manuel Miranda did this song, and I think if he wins this, he'll be the latest EGOT, right? Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. If he wins this, I think he will win it, and I think he'll be number 17 or something like that, 17th person to ever do it. They're probably one of the youngest. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I don't know the stats and figures as well as some others, but I do believe he'll be the EGOT if he wins this, and I think that's what's going to happen. People love Encanto. It's a great movie. Gotta have one copy sitting right there next to me. Production design nominees: Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story. I think West Side Story takes this one, but I would not be shocked if anybody in this category won. Power of the Dog, which, like I said, needs to pile up some wins to make its year even more impressive. Nightmare Alley's production design is incredible. I just don't know if there's enough support behind that movie. I just don't know. I don't feel it. Tragedy Macbeth, for a movie I have a lot of issues with, production design is also not one of them. And of course, Dune is just great all around. Sound nominees are Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. I think Dune wins that, hands down. And visual effects, that last category for me. Nominees are Dune, Free Guy, yes, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man No Way Home. I think Spider-Man No Way Home wins this. I think this will be the bone that they throw to the fanboys. Spider-Man No Way Home can now be an Oscar winner. It's already one of the biggest movies ever, probably the most popular movie of the year. I think this is the way you give some respect to that. And if you're not going to make it a Best Picture nominee, you make it Best Visual Effects. The visual effects are incredible, and none of these other movies need to have a win. I think this one deserves it, and it should get it. So Spider-Man No Way Home is the one I think is going to win that. All right. So those are my nominees for tomorrow's Academy Awards. I hope you enjoyed this little attempt by me to put myself out there and see what my nominees look like, see how good I do. And like I said, normally I write this post out, but I wanted to do it this way this year, so it's a little bit faster for me to do it this way. But this is a lot of fun as always, and like I said, if you're looking for a place to watch the Oscars tomorrow with your kin, your brethren, fellow movieaholics, join me and Tim Gordon at the Arlington Cinema and Draft House. For the DC's Oscar night party. It's the biggest Oscar night party in DC. I mean, you should always come check it out, just on principle. But come and join us. I think doors open around 6 or 6:30. You can go to the DC Film Society website, or just go on Facebook and go to events, and you'll find it there. I mean, it's listed there on Sunday. So yeah, go check it out. Tickets are, I think, $20 at the door, but you can pre-order. So I think it's even less if you do it that way. All right. So I hope to see you there. It's a lot of fun. Come up, say hi if you do. I'm Travis Hopson. This has been my Oscar predictions for 2022. Check me out every day at punchdrunkcritics.com. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at punchycritic. You can find Punch Drunk Critics at PDC Movies. You can check out my podcast, Cinema Royale, anywhere that you get your podcasts. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel. and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.